one key thing to know with courses is that what you learn in the class is not exactly what the program is and what the specialization really is until you go to your to work. What I learned for marketing in all these UBC Sauder classes are it's very theoretical, so it's more to understand the very basis and the foundation of what marketing is. So you're taking consumer behavior, which is more of like the psychology of marketing. You're taking marketing analytics, where you're trying to implement like case studies of marketing. And then like for me, the most important part.
Katrina, do you want to first introduce yourself?
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much, Hima, for bringing me on. Hi, everyone. I'm Kat. I am a fifth-year marketing student at UBC Sauder. And on top of that, I'm currently an intern at Lululemon as a North America integrated marketing intern. So I'm loving it. I'm loving every second. And outside of work and school, I love music, I love food, and I love to climb.
Perfect. Yeah. And if you're on Instagram, follow Katrina's main, but also follow Katrina Climbs. Is that your climbing account?
Yeah, at Katrina.climbs. Follow me.
Go ahead and define marketing as it is to you, and specifically marketing at UBC Sauder.
Yeah, for me, marketing was something I never knew I would go into. I always thought of it as, okay, do I choose red or do I choose blue? Next. But I realized that marketing is a huge combination of two things. One is creativity, where you do have to put your outside of the box mindset into either a campaign, a message, a theme. And then on top of that, having the analytics to provide why we go into this creativity. So analytics could be, the analytical mindset, where you utilize data and numbers to project a campaign to either rerun or to, not happen again, or just like the general analytical mindset, where you're using strategy and focusing and honing in on the why of a campaign, not just simply the numbers, but more so like this, how much strategy and effort you take in each step of the marketing funnel as well.
Going back to your experience at Sauder, so you've been here about 5 years now, including all your co-ops. So talk us through what it has been like taking marketing at UBC Sauder.
Definitely. Marketing at UBC Sauder has definitely pushed me to reach out into internships, because one key thing to know with courses is that what you learn in the class is not exactly what the program is and what the specialization really is until you go to your to work. What I learned for marketing in all these UBC Sauder classes are it's very theoretical, so it's more to understand the very basis and the foundation of what marketing is. So you're taking consumer behavior, which is more of like the psychology of marketing. You're taking marketing analytics, where you're trying to implement like case studies of marketing. And then like for me, the most important part was like taking the internships throughout my undergrad, because in this experience, I got to understand the theoretical part and applying that into each of my internships. So that's like an important part that I've learned taking marketing at UBC.
And do you think there is a specific reason why they make it so theoretical and not more hands-on?
I think that like the third year marketing courses, for example, like the marketing analytics, marketing research, those ones are more theoretical to just get the basis and knowledge. And I think the fourth year marketing courses are a little bit more hands-on apply. My favorite course is Com 464 Digital Marketing with Victor Tang, because some of it is theoretical, but actually like a lot is like the hands-on, like work with Google Analytics platforms, work with these platforms that you're probably going to work on in real life. So I think that's the coolest part. I think you start off with the theoretical classes, but eventually it pumps you out into a hands-on, and then you can apply that into any internship that you go into within marketing.
And on that topic of internships and like working, what are some career paths or streams that you can pursue as a marketing student, either for co-ops or for full-time jobs?
Yeah, for sure. With marketing, I think in Sauder, everyone thinks CPG is sort of the only way to succeed within marketing. And
CPG is...
Yeah, I was gonna say CPG is consumer packaged goods. So anything where like you're using your deodorant, you're using disposable items or things that you need to buy again. So like Procter and Gamble is one example. the brand mentorship program does focus on that. However, what's important is that there's so many different aspects. Like you can go into technical marketing, especially digital marketing, where you're trying to look at performance through search engine optimization, or lower funnel through like conversion rates. So that's like looking at your website and how someone can actually click further into a call to action, maybe like a button. So all those areas. And then there's that brand marketing side that does include CPG. If you're interested in more like the creative, how can we improve our brand name or our like a specific key message within the brand.
And what side do you lean towards? Like, I guess in your co-ops that you've done so far, what have you found more interesting?
Yeah, for sure. I love both. Honestly, like my first two internships were around like technical digital marketing. And then my last one was or my current one is at Lululemon, and that's mostly focused on brand marketing, specifically in our weekly campaigns on the women's and men's landing pages. And I'm loving it because I get to communicate with a number of channel partners and get to understand how product works, how product education works to the creative teams, and I love to facilitate communication. Like I still see data and numbers and the analytics side, but I'm more honed in on the brand and make sure that we align with a specific key message. And that's kind of what I like to someone who's more organized. I like to be organized within the communication that I bring out.
And in the middle, I want to go back to the conversation we were having in the middle about courses and what courses are nice. So you said digital marketing was a great course to take. COM 486. Sorry, I messed that up.
464.
COM 464. Digital marketing with Victor Tang.
Yeah, for sure. I think another one which you do have to take, but it's one of my favorite courses. It was COM 362, Consumer Behavior. I took that with David Hardesty, and I loved every single class because you get an insight of how a human's brain decides to purchase something. That's something that I've always wanted to learn more. Where you realize, oh, it's not just simply the look of this item, but it's like the five senses. Like, is it like a jingle of of a song that you might have heard on the radio? Was it the feel of whatever the item was beforehand? There's a lot of concepts as to like why you go into purchasing, and you also go into different like hierarchy of needs. For example, Maslow's hierarchy, where every level you find more fulfillment depending on what stage you are. So I love that psychological aspect of marketing. Another course would be COM 460. I love the social nonprofit side of marketing. It's a piece of marketing that not a lot of people in Sauder often talks about. So it's more so like, how can you provide impact through marketing? And a lot of hands-on application as well.
What are some, I guess, other minors or other electives you could take to pair with your marketing like degree that you're going to get that you think will like help you augment that experience a little bit more?
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of specializations that link with either sustainability or psychology. One of them, for psychology, you can take a minor in psychology that does provide course planning, where you need a couple of lower year psychology courses as well as upper year psychology courses. There might be an inclusion of like sociology, family studies courses as well, since they all fall under that. So that's good to look into. Another one is under UBC Sauder, which is a concentration in sustainability and social impact.
But Katrina, on like any concluding notes about marketing, something you think people should hear before they make that decision?
Yeah, for sure. I think this is definitely for people who have stereotypes around specific specializations. They where you might think whether or not you want to take marketing. It is an awesome area to find yourself and dive deep into. It's also the one specialization where within marketing, there's so many different like specializations within it itself. So if you're someone who loves data, love someone who loves creativity, love someone who loves UX UI, like there's all these different realms. So open yourself up to this specialization if you're interested, and reach out to me. You can find me on LinkedIn, Instagram. You'll find me somehow.
Yeah, exchange even. I think she's a great person to talk to, and her experiences as well are super diverse. So you can expect not to get a kind of tunnel vision kind of perspective. You can get something get a perspective from someone who's been around in the field that you're interested in. But on that note, Katrina, thank you so much for taking this time to chat with me about marketing. Hopefully those who are listening, you found this very effective. Yeah, Super glad that you could take the time to be here. And to those who are listening, no
Thank
worries.
you,
Thank you so
Nima.
much for tuning into the UBC podcast.